We're gonna bring it back to the basics. The more direct you can be, the better. There are plenty of ways of going about finding a job in 2022. Hey, and welcome back. If you're new here, great to meet you. My name is Preston and I'm a professional recruiter. I've been talking a lot about the state of the job market these days, so if you're currently in the middle of a job hunt, I highly recommend going back and watching my previous videos covering topics like the Great Resignation and monthly updates from the Department of Labor Statistics. Those who have been following my videos know that as the economy seems to be recovering from the pandemic, positions are opening and many industries have started hiring. At the same time though, job seekers have an unprecedented level of bargaining power because organizations are eager to find and retain talent. Still, despite a thriving labor market and the convenience afforded by us, by technology, finding the right job can actually be pretty tough. That's what recruiters like me are here for. So in today's video, we're gonna bring it back to the basics. I'm gonna give a broad overview of the best practices for finding work in 2022, so you can go out there and find the perfect positions quickly and efficiently. But before we get started, as always, remember to like, subscribe, click that bell. It really means a lot. In many ways, finding a job in 2022 is easier than ever before. With the advent of things like social media and online job boards, you can access thousands of open positions with the simple click of a button. But there also lies the problem. With so many potential job sources and an equally high amount of positions to sift through, it can quickly become overwhelming. I hope this video will help break down some of the best ways to go about searching for a job in 2022. Starting with, well, getting started. Sometimes kicking off the job search is the hardest part because the truth is there is no one right way to get started. The best way to get over the initial fear of beginning a job search is just to start. The longer you sit around planning or waiting for the right time, revising your resume for the 10th time, the more positions you'll miss out on. Like I mentioned earlier, now is a great time to be looking for roles in a variety of industries. But if we learned anything from the past few years, it's that things can change in an instant. So don't wait around for the right moment. But that being said, you shouldn't go in unprepared. Chances are you have this step covered already, but it bears mentioning again. Create or update your resume and start thinking about cover letters. Resume and cover letters. Even in the era of platforms like LinkedIn, many hiring managers and founders still ask for a traditional resume when applying for a position. Make sure yours is as up to date as possible with all of the necessary relevant information. Name, location, email addresses, phone number, education information, skills and qualifications, and your previous work history. It may be tempting to breeze through your resumes to get started looking for jobs, but take some time to make your resumes look good and read nicely. It's fairly easy to create a professional looking resume these days, so there's no excuse not to. Additionally, you'll likely be sending out a number of cover letters to the companies that you apply to. Although these days they'll almost certainly take the form of an email or instant message, I recommend doing some light research on how to write an effective cover letter and then creating a template that you can easily customize. That way, you don't spend too much time writing and rewriting a new cover letter for each position. If you struggle with writing resumes and cover letters, consider getting a friend or even hiring a professional to help you out. Online job boards and platforms. So I've already talked a lot about online job boards in the past, but since they're one of the most common ways of finding work these days, they bear a mention here in this video as well. I've already talked about how many job boards there are out there. It may be tempting to find and sign up for as many as possible, but don't spread yourself too thin. If you start to send out applications and contact employers through a variety of platforms, it can quickly become absolutely overwhelming. So I recommend doing some research into the most popular job boards and picking maybe 1 to 3 of the most relevant to focus on. If you're looking for more general, less specialized work, consider options that have easy apply features. Alternatively, if you are a qualified professional looking for a more specialized position, you might dig deeper for platforms that offer higher level work. Some job boards allow employers to post ads directly on their site, while others are aggregators that pull listings from other sites and collect them in on one convenient location. So here are a few of the top job boards in 2022. LinkedIn is both a social media platform and a job board. We'll cover how to utilize it for networking in just a moment, but it is one of the top places to find work. There is also Ladders, Scouted, Career Builder, AngelList, Get Work, Snag a Job, ZipRecruiter, FlexJobs, Monster, Glassdoor, Indeed. These platforms can also be a great source of general information about industries that are hiring and what qualifications hiring managers are actually looking for. To learn more about job boards, I recommend going back to watch my previous videos on the best job boards in 2022. Online and in-person networking. One key rule of job hunting: remember to be vocal about your search. You can start by telling your friends and family members, even your LinkedIn network. You'd be surprised how often this results in effective leads. Being personally recommended for a job from someone you know can potentially bypass some of the more tedious aspects of job hunting. If you are an established professional with industry connections, you can consider reaching out to them as well. Long story short, if you can be personally introduced to a role from someone you have a personal connection to, you'll be that much closer to landing the position. This doesn't have to be done in person either. Utilize social media platforms again, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and especially LinkedIn, which is geared towards professional connections and working relationships. You want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is up to date, just like your resume. That way, when you start reaching out to potential connections, they can quickly and easily see all of the relevant information they need to establish your qualifications. LinkedIn does put a limit on the number of connections you can make and which users you can reach out to. Reach out to friends and family and former coworkers to build up your list of connections and cast a wide net. Traditional methods. Online career platforms are flooded with users these days, but plenty of local businesses and organizations still hire the old-fashioned way, with a big sign out front. There's something to be said for going out to look for nearby openings. You can go inside, hand your resume in to someone in person, establishing yourself in their mind, and therefore making a great first impression. This method isn't as common these days, so you have to stand out that much more. You can also open the local paper or town magazine to look at the classified section for more openings in your immediate area. Direct contact is most effective. If there is running theme throughout this video, it's that the more direct you can be, the better. That means getting a face-to-face meeting with the hiring manager is going to be much more effective than sending in a resume and a cover letter and hoping for the best. This doesn't mean not to apply for jobs in that way. It's the easiest and fastest way of getting started. But consider researching companies you're especially interested in, working for, and reaching out to them directly, even if they're not publicly hiring. This method doesn't guarantee results, but luck plays a big part in a job search as well. If they were planning on initiating a search for talent or are growing and interested enough in your talents, they may consider extending an offer or even starting an interview process at least. If not, you're at least on their radar. Work with a recruiter. Consider getting in touch with a recruiter like me to help you find relevant positions and make connections you wouldn't be able to on your own. Recruiters are most effective if you have an established work history. Still, even if you're just entering the job force, it couldn't hurt to make those connections as well. There's always the chance they will have relevant work or will reach out to you when it does, or even help you out within their network. Recruiters and staffing firms also may be able to hook you up with temporary work while you may look for something more permanent. So as you can see, there are plenty of ways of going about finding a job in 2022. Remember, not to get overwhelmed. Don't worry about where you start, just start. Do you have anything else to add on the conversation? I'd love to hear from you. Make sure to comment down below. If you like this video, want to see more like it, feel free to give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. Feel free to also follow me at Preston_Park as I try my best to also post daily. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.